Welcome, welcome, welcome to the C-Suite Leadership Journey. And today we're going to be talking about something super incredible, especially because we have a really special guest. And today, before we started, just make sure that you like, comment, and share, especially if you're watching right now in the Facebook group, or if you are watching in LinkedIn, make sure that you share and, you share the knowledge because actually will be somebody who is going to be thanking you for this. And also, if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe, follow me, because we're always going to bring the most incredible leaders, especially for the Tampa Bay, where you're going to be connecting and look for those like-minded people. So who I am. So if you're super new about here, I am Candy Windon, the founder of KW Coaching Group. And I help business leaders to improve performance and profitability. That is exactly what I do by teaching leadership skills and also doing incredible implementation group coachings. So today we have a really special guest, and he is here in the backstage of this incredible life is Thomas Kim. So before he's coming to speak to us and share his knowledge and his wisdom, he is the CEO and owner of Florida Firearms Academy. He actually acquired this company in 2011. He has 23 employees, is looking for expanding and scaling. And also one of the things that I love about him is his attitude and his energy. So right now, let's welcome Thomas. Come on, Thomas.
Hey, thanks for having me today, Candy.
No, I'm so excited to have you here. I really, really love it. It's like, oh my God, your background, you have like a robot or something in the back end, and it sounds so good.
I'm at my store right now upstairs. I have a lot going on still, so I'm still watching all these monitors and making sure everything's going all right. But getting into a business, starting a business, you got to have that soul to do it and that drive to do it. If you don't, then you're going to waste your time and effort. Do what you love to do, and this is something I love to do. The best advice that I can basically give you is, you're the person that has to take on all the responsibility, the liability. Everything falls back on your shoulders. So lead by example. Let everyone. I don't care. I'll pick up a broom and start brooming and clean. If I have to clean the toilets, I'll clean the toilets. There's no job too small or big for me. And everyone else, they'll see that you're doing this and they'll just jump right in and help you. But the main thing that I really noticed, and it took me a while to notice this, was not everyone cares about your business as much as you do, even your employees. So I kept thinking, and that was a hard pill for me to swallow. Why don't they love this? I'm trying to make them lots of money and give them a career and do all this cool, but no one will. And what you have to do is find these people that'll work with you. And once they do, you want to actually give them a portion of the company, because now I'm not the only one that cares about this company as much as I care about this company. Now they have stake in it. They have skin in the game. They're going to want to go that extra mile, pick up that piece of paper on the floor, make sure everything's running right. And you know what? Share the wealth. It's lonely at the top. So let everyone get in on this. And if you can, the more the merrier. That way, when you do expand, you have people that are more interested, have part of their time and their money now invested with you, and they're going to put in their hardest effort to make sure that your company is successful. You give the best customer service, and that's what makes your company credible, is the customer service. I'm sure when you're dealing with a lot of people and CEOs, Candy, you have to deal with customer service, right? You can't just go on with a sad attitude, talking to anyone and going, oh, woe is me, this is what happened today, bad things. You gotta look past all that, right? And I'm sure your inspiration for other people. What do you tell people to inspire people to get into the owning their own business deal?
Oh my God, you just say something that actually a couple things, but I wanted to highlight something that you mentioned about giving the employees ownership, because most of the leaders, they just trying to get everything to themselves. They want everything is about them, but actually leading is about others. And you just shared something that is that's what I said. Thomas King Jr. is going to bring a lot of wins on, and I completely 100% agree with that, because giving the employees the ownership, it will give them the responsibility. Is that cool? Yeah.
Absolutely. That get, you know what? And they're working for something. There's so many people that have been working at a job for 10, 15 years and they get nothing from it. And if they just got a portion of the company or something that something that led them to go work a little bit harder with bonuses and things like that, yeah, that's great. But if you become a part owner, that means you're going to have a retirement egg at the end of this. 401s and all that's all great and everything, but there's so many other ways to invest your money and time in, and then a 401 that's not really going to make you hardly anything. So having something, becoming an owner, sharing the wealth is going to make you and every one of your employees much more happier. In the long run, they're going to be the ones that are always going to fight for you and your company in the end. And every one of the employees that come in and go, if they just start at the bottom, they're like, is there any opportunity for growth? Well, you know what? If you want your own store, let me know. Let's make this happen for you. But we got to make sure that you're doing your portion and your job. You got to be able to get in there. Just like anything in the world, if you're not getting anything out of your job right now, then go somewhere else. Look somewhere else. Look for some other kind of career or investment, or start your own business that's going to make you happy. And make sure that when you do, you're making everyone else, happy on your team. If you're not a team, then you're not going to be a good business. It just takes one person to bring down a whole entire business. And we've seen that here. One person with a negative attitude can bring down the entire team, because if that management is not good, it's not going to be good for your entire team. So you want someone that's always going to be positive, lead with an example, not afraid to get their hands dirty, and go ahead and be successful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my God, you guys got to take note of this, because Thomas is just bringing gold nuggets in here. So Thomas, I wanna hear your journey. So when do you actually become or decide to become an entrepreneur?
So I looked at my passion after I left. I used to work on the bond trading floor. After I left there, my passion was what I did with my father. Was growing up, we did a lot of sport shooting, competition shooting at Mary Help of Christians. I was on their shooting team at school, and this was just something that was so passionate to me. It's something that drove me, that wanted me to get in to see if I can make this successful. There's so much negativity on this industry. But what I have done and my team has done, we have teamed up with charities, with the mayor, with city council. I'm on the board with the chamber, and we have shown people the excitement of the sport and what we do here. We do competition shooting, and we also do defensive shooting as well. We train FBI, CIA, whoever wants to come out. We're the largest academy around. We do 40 different types of classes, 20 something different instructors. So you can come out and do whatever you like. We have kids shooting teams. We want to make it educational, but so affordable that you're going to enjoy coming out, not breaking your piggy bank, and understanding and respecting this right that we actually have.
Wow, that is awesome. Actually, I went to your website. You guys right now have a special day that you can have all women come into your store and go, and it's
Free
completely
of
free, guys.
charge. Yeah, Mondays is Ladies' Day, so come on out. And you know what? The cool thing is we have a rental program. You come in, if you've never fired a firearm, we'll show you how to hold, load, aim, and shoot a firearm correctly, safely, and accurately. You can try 70 different pistols, rifles, and shotguns. I think it's for $35 for 2 people. And this way, it's going to let you know what works best for you and what you're trying to use this firearm for. Is it for sport? Is it for competition? Is it just for home defense or carry? The laws are changing all the time. So if you go on our Facebook page at Florida Firearms Academy, we try to update you and keep you educated on that. But we also make this a fun sport. We do a lot of different parties and events. So that's another key thing, I think, for business owners. It is hard for people to give something away. Like, here's a $1,000 prize or a gift or whatever. We come to the point where we give away tens of thousands of dollars in our at your events. It's all free food. Everything is 100% free. And then if you do anything or buy anything, that money does go to charity. So giving back to your community, giving something away, that's how you attract people. It's hard to say, I'm not going to give this away. If you really think about it, though, if you spend a month, $3,000 on advertisement, Well, you could have just gave away $3,000 and had people come to your store to get a ticket to try to win something. So that's much as people in your store. Now they've been to your location and see what you've done. So it's just boots in the door. It's a great way to market, great way to advertise. Don't be scared to give things away. And later in life, it always comes back to you anyway. So I believe in karma. So give and let give. You know, we bought a tiny home for a homeless veteran. So this veteran for the rest of their life now has a home. We do a lot of different charities with the homeless, feeding the homeless. We teamed up with many different charities. If you're in the chamber with us, we do 34 different charities right now, nonprofits. So it's a great way to also help your community. It also promotes your business, but it's also a good thing to do because you should do a good thing.
So which chamber are you part of, Thomas?
So I'm part of the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. I'm the incoming vice chair on the board over there now. And it's just a great way to get your business out there. If you're not in a chamber where you're located at, sign up for one. And I'll tell you what, so I see this a lot with businesses. There's over 500 businesses that are signed up with our chamber. The people that are very successful are the people that come out and are involved in the chamber. If you just sign up and never go do anything, you're not going to be involved. You're not going to get to meet all these different business owners. I get to meet 500 business owners. And if they don't want to come out, I will go to their business and say, how you doing today? What can I do to help your business? How can I help advertise for you? So, you know, what's funny is if you go on our Facebook right now, there's a gentleman that's in our chamber right now. He's got a hauling and dumping business. It's called Two Cats Hauling and Dumping. Well, I said, hey, would you want, because you're, starting this new, we'll put on our receipts. If anyone buys $1 worth of anything or above, we'll put 10% off a Two Cats Hauling and Rescue. Put your website and your phone number. We'll circulate when we give it to the customer. And he's like, heck yeah, I want to do that. And then also I just put him on radio and TV. I paid for that for him. And then the next month I'm going to pick another business and I'm going to do it for another business. They don't even know who I am. But you know what? They do when I'm done with this because it's giving them business. I'm helping them promote and it's getting them more business in our community. Because if we have money stay in our community, it's much more better than sending it out to China and Ukraine and wherever all these places where our money doesn't need to be. Let's keep it in our community. Our kids here need books. Our kids here need clothing and food and schooling. So let's keep that money right here circulating where we're at.
I completely agree with that. Oh my God. So Thomas, that is beautiful. So you're the leader in the chamber. You're an excellent leader in your company, and actually you develop all the leaders because by giving them their ownership and responsibility, you actually help them to become a better leader. So
yeah,
the
absolutely.
other side, you share beautiful things. Everything is amazing. That support for the community. Share a little bit more about your challenges. What has been the biggest challenge that you ever have, and how do you overcome that?
That I ever had? Wow, that's a loaded question. In life, in business, and growing up right now, the past, what kind of challenge? The biggest challenge, I think the biggest challenge unbelievably was I grew up really with no parents and my sister raised me. And that was a hard time in my life as a kid. And I never really got to see my mother again. I've hired detectives and everything, but growing up without parents, no real leadership. My sister is just a few years older than me, amazing person, so brilliant, so smart, so caring, so loving. Then there was times where I was, 11, where I lived alone. And my principal of my school was actually Miss Lopez, didn't tell anyone, and I hope I don't get her in trouble. She actually kind of took care of me. I told her, though, if you call, to have them take me away, I will run away. You'll never see me again. So I lived in this big Ruttenberg house. But there was times where, I had to eat dog food for a long time. I didn't know about money and how to get money. I'm a little kid. So it was a tough time in my life, but I have always had God in my life and tried to be positive, and I can look at the negative, but what's that going to do for you? It does absolutely nothing. Just keep looking towards the future and what's going to be better for you and what more good things you can do for everyone else. It's not about me and my life. It's what can I do for my community? Because one day when I leave this planet, I want someone to say, hey, that guy did a lot of really good things for a lot of people. And that's when your legacy lives on. So even though you're gone, there's nothing you can do. But if people give a thumbs up about you, well, then that should make it all well worth it.
Oh my God, you just mentioned, oh my God. Thomas, I didn't know that. So thank you for sharing that. Yes, that could be the biggest challenge, but also it was a
Hard.
beautiful gift because the
Right.
way, yeah, because the way that you think, the way that you react, the positive attitude, it actually counts for something hard that you went through. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's another thing that's hard for if you're opening, your own business and you're starting out and you have a few employees, if it comes every week or other week, it's going to come to the point where, am I able to pay my employees? And that was for, I don't know, a year here. I didn't take anything. I gave all the money to the employees, and I felt good about that. But you know what? That's the right thing to do. But there's may come a time where you can't pay your employees, and that's going to hurt your soul. You're going to feel like, wow, they have a family to feed. They got kids. They got bills to pay. So it's all the responsibility is on your shoulders. That's why when I talk about give portions of the company to someone else so they can also take a little bit of that burden off of you and care as much as you do and make sure that your business is successful.
beautiful, beautiful advice. Yeah, that's absolutely the most important part. And I remember a few years ago, I was in that shoes.
Yeah,
I was
it's hard.
walking there. I was
Everybody goes in that shoes. Going
all the money that was coming in, it was going to the employees for
right
the
back out.
insurance, all the bill, the expenses. I didn't have nothing. I was like, oh Jesus, now I gotta look for my savings for my own expenses.
Right. The hard part is most people have a very hard time asking for help. It's okay to ask for help. It mentally messes with you if you don't. So get help, talk to someone. You don't put all this burden on your employees and don't put it on your spouse or anybody. Like there was days I would talk to my dog saying, oh, this customer came in and he was so rude to me. And I just wanted to say something, but I held back. You got to get all this stuff off your chest and then make the next day a more beautiful day. So that is probably one of the most exciting things is when you see a customer come in and they leave super happy and excited saying, hey, this place is great. And they give you a 5-star review. Then you know you've done your job.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I want to recap a little bit about the asking for help because when I was interviewing Bridget from the TBBW, the Tampa Bay Business from Wealth, she mentioned too that people don't ask for help. And you just mentioned the same thing. And one of the things that I do when they join to the tribe, to the 6 and 7 figure master influence group, is that I ask them, okay, so now you're here. Is there anything I can support you and help you? I just ask him, what
Right.
do you need help with? Most of them, I would say 80% of the people, they said, everything is good, I'm good. But I
It's
know that it's not.
it's
So
true. It's hard for people. I think it's a pride thing. But if you've ever lived on the street or not had food, you have to ask somebody at some point. If you've ever once you've become successful in your business and you are making money enough to give back to your communities or charities, hey, don't forget this. If you haven't put enough away for your own self, there could be a time where you're homeless, you're back on the street. It only takes a few bad apples or bad things to happen where you could be back down there. So that's why you should never act above or beyond anyone else, because you're not. We're all human. It doesn't matter how much green paper you have, it's how much you give back to the community. And if you can't help someone, then ask someone for help because it makes someone else feel good giving you help too as well, believe it or not. I feel really happy when I help someone. So
yes, I remember
satisfying.
when I joined to my mastermind in Australia, they were like, Candy, you gotta ask for help. And I was like, I don't want to take somebody else's time, take somebody else's advice. I was feeling like I was taking somebody else's wisdom, right? And
Right.
then I realized that pride was getting into my head. I was like, oh Jesus, I have to actually ask for help because that's the only way that my business is gonna kick off. So I started asking help. Right now, it's like, hey, whatever the advice, whatever the strategy, whatever, I listen to you. No matter who you are, I take over. I'm ready to receive. So, guys, asking for help is very critical. Just Thomas say something is super important because pride will kill your business, will kill your identity, and will destroy everything around you.
Yeah, and it's sad because people won't let that go. There's many people that feel like they're too smart too, and they know everything. They're the boss, right? I know you can't teach me anything. I ask my employees all the time, hey, for help. Hey, how would you do this? I want to know your input on this. And they like that. They like giving their input. And sometimes they have the best ideas, and I'll use that. So I'll listen to anybody. You got good advice, great. I'll take it. I want to know stuff. I don't know everything. My glass is not always full. Don't be that boss that knows everything and doesn't ask for advice, because you know what? Someone may give you the best advice and say, oh, this makes everything 10,000 times easier. So we always have company meetings. I sit down, I ask everyone, I want to know your bitches, your gripes, your complaints, and anything you think would be improved, and any good thing you want to say. I want you to let it all out right now, because we want to fix it. We don't want this just a stew in the background. Let's fix it right now. And if we can't fix it, let's find another way, or put all of our heads together and get this right.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really beautiful, the strategy that you do, and you especially asking for the feedback from your employees. So, Thomas, do you actually ask feedback from the people that you surround yourself with other CEOs, other presidents, and how you can actually improve or do something better?
I'll ask anyone. I'll ask a third grader, because you know what? Third graders are brilliant. Yeah, there's this riddle, and they asked all these Harvard graduates, and like all these people got it wrong, but almost every third grader got it right. It was what's more greater than God, more evil than the devil? The rich need it, the poor have it, and if you eat it, you die. You know what the answer is?
No.
Nothing. There's nothing greater than God, more evil than the devil. The poor have nothing, the rich need nothing, and if you eat nothing, you die. Well, every third grader got that right. So don't think that you're super smart and know everything, because it could just be some simple little explanation that makes your whole world turn around and become amazing. So I just always thought that was an amazing riddle. And it's true, right? The kids do know a lot of things. I can be 100 years old and still not know everything. I still want to learn from everybody. And that's why people should always listen to you and learn from what you have to offer. You going around and talking and speaking with all these people that have done things and have made it successful. Why not listen to that and take that advice as well?
Yeah, exactly. Guys, you gotta listen.
Got to listen up. Right?
Exactly. So, Thomas, so what would be the three advices, the most important advice you as a CEO, as a leader, that you will give to this community who is watching right now?
That's pretty much what I kind of just went over, but there's some little things that, hey, take time for yourself. You can't just put in 180 hours every week and try to make things right. Sometimes you got to slow down to speed up, if you understand what I mean. You got to take that breath to be able to go a lot faster later. Because if you're just burning yourself out and burning yourself out, you're not doing your team any good. You're going to become irritable. You're going to become tired. You're going to slow down. Take that time to appreciate what you've done and what you're going to do. That's very critical for you and your team. Be on that positive side. The other thing is, never let your team see you upset or see you down and out like we're done. You got to be the strong person, like the parent in this group. You got to let them know where you're at, where you're going, and what we're going to do for this company to fix or go in the direction we need to go. You can't keep them in the dark. If you do, it's not going to be a fun day for any of you guys. The last thing is, hey, give back, care, love one each other, respect each other. There's a big thing when you go around and you talk to other businesses and their employees, and the one thing that they'll say is they don't feel respected. They don't feel like they're needed. They just feel like another number in the grind. If you're going to make your employees feel like that, then that's the kind of work they're going to put in.
Yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful advice, especially, the impact that we have with our community and the people that we work with. because they support your business, whatever you do, guys. So make sure that you take care all those the people that surround yourself, and especially you. I learned that in a hard way.
Right. Sometimes the hard way is the best way to learn, though. At least
And
you
then I
learned it,
was
right?
like, never again, never again. I take my vacation, I go to the beach, and then I go dancing, I do crazy, and then I feel like, okay, now business time.
At least you learn from your mistakes. Some people don't learn from the mistakes, and it makes it so much harder and so much repetition that they don't get over that hump and they can't make their business successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely 100% agree with that. All right, awesome. So, Thomas, so if you have to write your own book, what would be the title and the message that you would love for the community to learn about you? And especially
Book.
you mentioned about legacy.
Right. My own book. Wow. You know, I always, if you ever read this book, it's a child's book, Silverstein, The Giving Tree. Um, it's about a tree and it gives and gives. And if you've never read it, go read it. It's a child's book, but it's such an inspirational book. You can't always go back to the wishing well, asking someone for help and money and food and blah, blah, blah all the time, because that person at some point is going to say, hey, look, you know, you need to get on your own and get your feet and back together. Um, I would write a book about myself, I think, and the experiences that, you know, many people today, they go through a tragic trauma, something. And to me, I listen to that story and I think, well, that's nothing, you know, but that is for them. And it's super hard for them to get over that. And it may lead to depression or whatever it may be. My life story was so crazy that people wouldn't even believe me. But I have a brother and sister that lived through it as well. So they know the truth. And I would write a story probably about the stuff that I had to go through, and to not step on people's toes and to do it the right way. I'm never going to have any complaints on anything. I'm not going to go to stay awake at night because I've done something wrong or inexcusable. I try to do everything the right way, but I had the hurdles that I had to overcome. I love hearing about people coming over their hurdles and what they had to do and how hard it was. So at 8 years old, 7 and 8 years old, Steve Shields and I, we opened a grass cutting business, right? And this is something interesting. We would go to everybody's grass and they say, sorry, we already have someone. I'd say, hey, let me cut your grass today for free. And if I do a really, really good job, you'll let me do it next week. And I would cut this. And when I'd knock on their door at the end, I'd say, hey, your grass all done. They'd say, oh, great. I'd say, no, come outside. I want you to look at this. And they would come out and I'd say, hey, look, I stacked up all your wood over here. I took all your bushes out. They were all messed up over here. I did all, and they're like, wow. Yeah, you're coming back next week. And everybody in my neighborhood, so that the kids that were like 17 years old, they were mad at me because I got all their business. But you know what? It's because they didn't put in that extra effort to get it done right. Well, if you're the better business person and you're going to offer a better business plan, I bet you someone's going to go with that business and take away. So there's a lot of hurdles, yeah, that I had to overcome. I would write it down on paper just to let people know it doesn't matter what you've gone through. It's what you can become today.
It's what you can become today. Oh my God, what a great message. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So I'm so grateful to have you here, Thomas, and especially for this C-suite leadership journey interviews and sharing this to the community, not just here locally in Tampa, but all over in YouTube, LinkedIn, in Facebook. So guys, this guy is completely legit. I completely have a really good connection with him. And as I promised you, I'm going to bring the most and the most incredible leaders here to share their wisdom. So Thomas, how they can actually connect with you and maybe learn a little bit more about the things that you're doing.
So you can always come to our storefront. We're right here we're in the middle of Oldsmar and Tampa. We're at Florida Firearms Academy at 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. We're right by the Oldsmar Flea Market. And you can always go on our Facebook page at Florida Firearms Academy or go on our webpage at ffatampa.com. We're working on 2 other stores right now, so we're trying to expand. So it's been very hectic for us. And you can also give us a call at 813-221-FIRE.
Awesome, awesome, guys. I'm gonna leave the information below, so make sure that you connect with him. And also, if you have any questions, please make sure that you leave your questions here. So Tomat is actually part of this group as well, so he will be able to reply to any questions that you may have. So make sure that you tag him, so he's gonna be straight and answer the questions for you. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'll do my best.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening to me. Just remember the upcoming challenge is coming really and excellent. Something that is really beautiful about the upcoming challenge that is completely 100% free is that I'm going to walk you through the steps that I did to make 100K in 100 days. And then you're going to get the 3 secrets so you can do it too. See you guys next time. And thank you so much for listening to you guys. Bye.
Much respect, Annie. Thank you very much.